Hello. I think this is working all right. I haven't been on here in a while. My headphones are set as that. Microphone is not set correct. Try. Let's try that. All right. Well, looks like. Hey, Michael Deaton and Chaos Theory. Oh no, it's Jay. You don't have to show up, you fucking moron. I've been on here in a while. All of my everything was reset. Everything was reset. Isn't that lovely? And for some reason, I can't use the earbuds that I'm using with the built-in because they're, I don't know what's going on. This is all, some of this has changed. Anyway, I got Barney Tearspell. Hey, long time no see, Barney. Literally. Spooky bed hair. How's it going? Yeah, I haven't been on in a while. Been hanging out. I was hanging out a little bit over there at Breakfast Tacos live stream. There's a lot of Not Fox on there, and Not Fox is one of those pre-suppers. So it's always so much fun. Just out of curiosity, since I'm going through, I believe I'm going through the built-in mic on my laptop. How is it coming through for everyone? Is it clear? Is it canny? In fact, there's one way I can find out. I can go to YouTube and take a look. Let's see. This is weird. I can't hear myself through my stream. You guys can hear me? Because I can't hear it on this end, which is weird. Weird. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on over there, but what's going on with my settings. Either way. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking it through YouTube, and I, for some weird reason, can't hear the audio from my own stream through this. So it might have something to do with my earbuds being not working properly. It says they're connected. Let me test another video. I was gonna play something to kind of critique it, but if my audio is not working, that's really not going to help me much. Let's see. Weird. My audio is not working. I have no idea why. So I can play videos. I can't hear any of the videos, and you guys can hear me because the mic is working. Yeah, so everyone can hear me because my voice is going over the built-in mic. What's weird is that I can't hear any video at all. And I don't know why. See if that works.
Of a teenager.
Yeah, so it has to do with my stupid earbuds. Lovely. Yeah, that's not working right. That's weird. It's not coming through my headset, which means it's going to come through my mic. Maybe that worked. Wow, these earbuds really are horrible. For $140, then this is my like third set because the other two went haywire on me and I had to have them replaced. Okay, anyway, that seems to be working. Last time you had a stream, I was high on Dilaudid. Back surgery is healing, so now I'm just high on THC gummies. Well, I guess that is an improvement. Can't help it. CPA. Hello, missing mod. Yeah, there was a video that I wanted. There's a person that I know on here named Blaster Master 80. I'm sure other people have probably met them. There was this. Yeah, right here. I thought this was a funny. Oh, no, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. I don't know if anybody's actually ever been introduced to this particular individual. His spooky $140 earbuds. Yeah, they were a Christmas gift, and I thought they were going to be a really nice Christmas gift. But so the first pair I had, one earbud just went completely dead. Couldn't charge, wouldn't do anything. Then so they got like a 5-year warranty on them. So I got a replacement set. The replacement set right out of the box. The opposite earbud, completely dead, wouldn't charge, nothing. Then I finally got a third set. And this third set is just, while both earbuds work fine, the thing is getting them to work fine. It always seems to be the problem. They're very, very picky. The only appropriate comment to Jay's return is fuck off. Well, I did fuck off for quite a while. All right, yeah. Here's one. This little video right here is funny. I've gone around. I've found all sorts of stupid out there, but the thing is most of the stupid that I found, other people have found it long before me, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, it's this one right here. Change my how my YouTube got back to light. Anyway. It doesn't make sense at all. Someone getting Jay a gift is just incoherent. Yeah, for most. All right, so here's this video. This is now this guy's had multiple channels. I can't remember. I used to remember his old channel name, and I did a review on it. And I don't even think that was his old channel. That was just another channel. It goes by Topics of Religion, and apparently Blaster Master 80 has been following this particular person for quite some time. And Blaster Master, if I remember correctly, he's a non-believer of some type. But yeah, I guess these two have had their ins and outs. But this guy right here is just the absolute, this Topics of Religion fella here. He is the absolute epitome of just what we would like to call tolerant Christian.
So this is messages to Blaster Master 80. Again, you're doing the same thing you did before. That's why I unmuted you, to see if you would do the same games you always do, denying definitions, denying factual information, denying terminology. You did the same thing that I already knew you would do. I just wanted to see it again because it brings back old memories from a couple of years ago when you first started following me on my other channels. And I think it's extremely funny that you are so deluded. You deny dictionary terms, you deny factual information, and yeah, same old, and you're back.
Yeah, same old, same old. Sorry. He annoys me because he's just. I'm looking up something here real quick. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let me continue on with this.
Back in the boot area, and of course,
Blaster Master got banned. Yep, he got banned again. Son of a bitch.
If you don't know who Blaster Master 80 is, this guy denies dictionary terminologies. He roasted a
so you say. Yeah, he denies dictionary terms.
Video of mine and said that the definition of refute was being used wrong. The dictionary says refuting means to argue against a point being made. So you disagree with them and argue it. That's refuting it.
Sure, but there's also rebut. I think that might have been what Blaster Master was trying to get at. To refute is to actually. Now, rebuttal, I think rebuttal is rebuttal or rebut is used predominantly in legal, but it's but a refutation is where you basically, so you can rebut something. I'll let this guy go. I'll let him go.
There's a second part to refutal, which is you present information and evidence against what they're saying, but that's not always the case. You don't have to provide evidence in order to refute. Refute just means to argue against. And
that's normally a rebut. That's normally a rebuttal. A refutation is normally understood as. So I got an article here from. This is from NPR. It's from 2018. Reminder: rebut and refute do not mean the same thing. Rebut, to contradict or oppose, especially in formal matter by argument, proof, etc., as in a debate. To refute is to prove a person to be wrong. Confute, to prove an argument or statement to be false or wrong by argument or evidence. Webster's New World College Dictionary. Now, both of those definitions came from Webster's New World College Dictionary. So a refutation is normally like if you've refuted someone, then you've given evidence, you've proven their claim false, right? But a rebut or a rebuttal is normally just you arguing against it. And in legal terms, sometimes I don't think a refutation is even used in legal terms. Normally, rebut is, or a rebuttal. Either way, this is, and maybe that's what Blaster Master was trying to do. He doesn't show the video because, of course, he's not going to promote Blaster Master stuff. But that's probably what Blaster Master and his wife were trying to say was to refute is to actually prove that the claim is false. The rebuttal is just to rebut, or a rebuttal is just to argue against, to push back against, without any evidence necessarily.
And they denied that, and they went on a diatribe of what refute really means, him and his wife. And I was like, did you get that from a Cracker Jack box? But anyway,
They probably got it from a dictionary.
Me and trolls me because he doesn't like my responses and tries to get me to debate him. I don't debate theists. I don't debate atheists. I don't debate anybody. It's pointless. It's a waste of time. No, thank you. I just don't do it. He says I can't respond or answer any questions, and he would roast me. Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with that. I answer 100% of the questions that are provided for me.
That's actually a lie, because I have posted a comment, and then he has responded to it, and then I followed up with another question, and then for some reason you can't follow up with any other questions. So the way that this guy actually works is that if you write a comment on his on one of his videos, he might respond. He might respond to it. I don't think he responds 100%. I don't even think that's possible. Maybe he does, but I know he's responded to like 2 of mine. But when I followed up, those follow-ups don't appear anymore. So it's like one and done. After that, there is no follow-up. You're not going anywhere.
And then I have atheists say, I ask it again because you didn't answer it, and I did answer it. Don't play that game with them. This is why most theists won't talk to atheists, because they're bullheaded. They deny factual information. They deny the dictionary. You answer the question, and they'll say you didn't. So it's because they don't like the response. It has nothing to do with you didn't answer the question. They know you answered the question. They just didn't like it. So this is just part of the games, and Blaster Master is the biggest game player.
I'm pretty sure that this guy would actually think that if you asked him a question and he just responded with boo or buh, then he would say, yeah, I answered the question. Or if he just kind of did that incredulous look and went, whatever, did you get that from a Cracker Jack box? Then that to him would be an answer. But I think he actually used the word, I think I missed it, but he used the word in here, rebuttal, which I thought was funny.
Player I've ever met, and a big, huge manipulator. And if he doesn't get his way, he starts spamming and trolling. He's back in the boot. I let him out for a day and a half to see if he still does the same thing. Same thing. He was saying that there is no choice, no free will to be in religion, just like you can't choose to walk through a wall. Not the same thing at all. Has nothing to do with it. It's just his diversion to get out of the truth, because he denies truth. Have a good day.
Because he denies truth. Yippity do. Yep. So there's that guy. Inconceivable meme. Real hate banner. Real hate boner this guy has. Apparently I chatted with Blaster Master a little bit about this particular individual, and he knows more of the history of this particular individual than I do. And I think Dr. Josh tried to talk to him at one point. And it did not go well. It didn't go well at all. Yeah, I started out with 10 or 11 viewers. Now I'm down to 4. Yeah, that figures. Everybody's like, oh, you're live. Oh, you're not really doing a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, not really. I just haven't been live in a while. Appreciate people coming by saying hi. I haven't been on in a while. So I figured, fuck it. And for some weird reason, I don't have my original icons anymore. They all disappeared. That look on his face. Look at that buttons. Yeah, this guy's got some interesting stuff. I did review one of his videos at one point. It was a slavery video. It was Dems are mad over. Yeah, he's got some really interesting content. Dems are mad over slowing crime. Crime has been slowing crime. I think it. Well, I don't think any Dems are mad about the crime, but anyway. But he is asking it as it is posed as a question. So, are atheists the cruelest? I wonder how many of these actually. Oh, this one was fun. This one was fun right here.
There's another example of the New Testament talking about slavery and masters. And it's not talking about slaves that are in Deuteronomy and Exodus. It's talking about living here on earth, us as like slaves and fearing God or respecting God as the master. It's a euphemism. It's a play on words, calling us
Euphemism. I think he said euphemism, but it's euphemism.
slaves and
At least
God
it sounded like that over my earbuds. And you know, these things.
master. So let's look at, there's quite a few of them, but this one's Colossians 3, specifically verse 22. Slaves should work in obedience to their masters out of reverence for Christ. In this context, having reverence for Christ means being aware that we are in his presence.
This is the weirdest take on a set of scripture I've ever seen.
Even when our earthly master isn't watching us at the moment. It's comparing our spiritual walk with God
No, it's not.
and the physical slavery. It's a comparison. It's not saying the same thing. Why don't the atheists?
Because somebody didn't read the whole thing. So let me. I looked this up. This is Colossians 3. I don't like to use the NIV. The NRSVUE is a much better. Okay, so the way this is done is that this is part of the letter, and it says, and it's Paul writing to Colossians. So if you've been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Put death, therefore, whatever. I'm just kind of blowing through this really quickly, but therefore, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Right. Bear with one another, and if anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other, just as the Lord has forgiven you, so that you also must forgive, right? It's all part of that, right? Above all, clothe yourself with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony, and let the peace of Christ rule in your heart, right? And it goes on and on and on. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Then it goes on. Wives, be subject to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and never treat them harshly. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this is your acceptable duty in the Lord. Fathers, do not provoke your children, or they may lose heart. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, not with the slavery performed merely for looks, to please people, but wholeheartedly fearing the Lord. Whatever task you must do, work as if your soul depends on it, as for the Lord and not for humans, since you know that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You serve the Lord Christ. For the wrongdoer will be paid back for whatever wrong has been done, and there is no partiality. What that guy has said, Topics of Religion has said, is wrong.
Say it like that. Why do they twist it around? Oh, I don't know. Because they're not truthful. They don't tell the truth.
You're not being truthful. You read one verse and said, and then took from that and said, well, this is a play on words. It's about being a spiritual slave, not a physical slave. Kind of going to the idea of like what Paul talks about in some of the other letters about being slaves in the law, right? I think he might be confusing that, because there's parts in the letters from Paul that we were slaves in the old law, and now we've been set free by Jesus, right? But this idea, but remember, we're servants to Christ. We're slaves to Jesus. And so he's playing on that and saying, well, that's exactly what this is saying right here. No, it's not. It's instructions for households. Wives be this way. Husbands be this way. Children be this way. Slaves be this way. It's literally referring to actual slaves.
Of the scripture, because they want to make it look immoral.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they wanted to really press the issue, Christians were still having slaves, because Christianity doesn't say slavery is wrong.
And you're just lying as a theist just to protect it, because you're all for rape, you're all for child killing, you're all for slavery, you just love all this stuff.
Well, they don't they're not all for that stuff. What they do is they're all for the benefits of going to heaven and having an eternal life, and anything that the Bible says that might give them the icks, they find ways to renegotiate.
No, you theist, you lie to make it look good. No.
And those are just ways of basically people kind of egging them on so that they go, hey, we actually know that this particular religion seems to support these kind of things that we find abhorrent today, and you don't seem to have a problem with it. Oh, yes, I do. Well, if you did, then you would have a problem with your religion. Oh, no, but what you think that religion is condoning or endorsing isn't what you think it is. And then therein lies the renegotiation.
Tell the truth.
Also known as apologetics.
Make it look immoral, therefore God can't be real. So let's get back on track and actually look at the reality and the meat of it and find out why atheists are telling the lies they tell. It's pretty simple.
No one was telling it. No one was actually saying a lie there. Maybe about you, maybe you don't actually, maybe because you can't. I mean, obviously it seems that you can't even read a verse properly. This particular individual has gleaned from a verse that is specifically instructions to family households, and he took it as, oh, this is just a play on words, that, oh, what's being talked about when it comes to slavery is just nothing more than spiritual slavery, not actual slaves. That's not even remotely within the context.
Pretty simple. It's a game. Keep playing the game, and I'll keep throwing it back at you. There's another.
That kind of sucks. It really fucking sucks. Oh, jeez. Where's the other one? He had another one too.
All right, so somebody came in yesterday and says, oh, here you are. I thought you closed your channel. Again, atheists spread lies.
This isn't, I don't even know how this is a lie. So they come in and they go, hey, I thought you closed your channel. Maybe they were misinformed. Maybe they knew of your old channel. They hadn't seen anything from your old channel. Now they see you on this channel and they go, well, wait a minute. I thought you were done. This is an inquiry. This isn't a lie.
A lie, and Blaster Master 80 was one of them going around spreading a lie. He can't answer questions. He won't debate because he has nothing, which is bullcrap. I answer all the questions in here. I just
not really, no, because again, you won't answer questions if there's follow-up questions. I know that.
Don't debates because you can't debate with liars. And what good's that going to do? Just
well, I don't think that you've actually defined what you think a liar is. From everything that I've seen from these guys' videos, anybody who could actually just be wrong about something, to him is just a liar. In fact, I think I did a video on that. It was funny because I saw it was Justin from Deconstruction Zone. He was calling someone a liar, and I thought that I found that kind of disingenuous, because the thing is that the person may not actually be lying. They might just actually be wrong, or they hold to something that's not true. They think it's true, but it's not true. And that's not being a liar. A liar is when you know what the truth is, and then you intentionally try to deceive someone by giving them bullshit, right? So this idea that lying is being false isn't you can be false and believe that you're actually right. And that doesn't mean that that's a lie. And I'm wondering if this guy kind of holds to the same kind of thing, that if you're just saying something and you're factually wrong about it, you're lying. No. Lying has an intent behind it.
just like I could have a better debate with a portable air conditioner. There's one right there. Air conditioner. Would you like to debate me? Wait a minute.
I would argue that the air conditioner is probably smarter than him.
It's just like an atheist. Why bother? Anyway, So then he spread around all this stuff. He's closing
The
his
noise
channel.
that the air conditioning unit is the noise that the air conditioner is putting out right now is more coherent speech than what he's talking about, what he's doing right now.
I announced that I'm closing my channel and I'm going to reopen one in 2025. I closed my channel in November or December of 2024 and reopened one in 2025.
And maybe they missed that. Maybe they didn't get that announcement. That's why they were inquiring. They weren't being a dickhead about it. They thought that you had stopped. They didn't know any of this.
In January. I did exactly as I said I would do.
Then that's all you have to say. If the person missed it, all you can do, you can just be charitable and just say, oh, you must not have been informed. I ended that old channel and I started this new channel. That's it. That's all. This is fucking stupid. Oh, these people are going around spreading lies about me because this person's like, well, I thought you stopped. See, that Blaster Master. No, maybe it had nothing to do with Blaster Master at all. Maybe it just had something to do with the person not having seen you around. For some reason, they got stuck on different interests. They hadn't seen anything coming from your old channel. Then somehow or another, they found out you had a new channel and they went, well, wait a minute. I thought you were done. It's not a horrible thing to inquire.
I wasn't sure what the title was going to be, but it was going to be centered around religion.
Hey, Benghazi.
I was going to talk about cults, and I was going to talk about, the problems I have with a lot of theists and churches and the mixed messages that are being sent out and different types of ideas and theologies and ideologies and doctrines and dogmas and all that. And here I am doing that, just like I said I would, but they went
Actually,
out.
he does more videos about atheists than he does anything else on this channel, it seems.
And listen to all these liars spreading crap.
You started this out with somebody who was inquiring about something. I don't know how this was a lie or how this was spreading crap. This just seems really weird to me. I mean, you can smell the Karen coming off this guy through your screen. It's ridiculous.
Shocking that atheists would spread lies about me.
I don't think anybody has to really spread any lies about you. You're kind of a dweeb and a bit of a Karen. And that's me being generous.
Ban people without warning and for no reason, even though they broke all the rules and they were given warnings, and they still cry wolf and say that I did all that with no warning for no reason, just to be a jerk. Because I couldn't answer the question.
I haven't seen anything of anyone. And that's the one thing I love about this guy. Will not show any receipts for any of this shit. He'll say somebody said something. He will not show a video or a clip or anything. At least none of the ones that I've seen on this channel. He will not show where any of this exchange has happened.
But I
think he did one where he was like reading the comments, but I went to try to find where the comment was at and I couldn't find it. So he may have removed it. I don't know. Or he may have been reading it from one of his other channels. He didn't, or one of his other videos. He didn't say. So I'm like,
every one of their questions until they started asking really stupid buffoonery questions.
It does not take anything. You can ask a very, very simple question of this guy, and he will take it as a buffoonery question. Especially if it challenges some kind of preconceived notion he has. It does not take much to get this guy worked up.
It's entrapment. So they know I'm not going to answer the stupid.
This just sounds paranoid.
Questions that are fake questions, and then they can go out and say he refused to answer my questions. You see,
that's this guy. This guy thinks he's the smartest thing since sliced white bread.
Or something to that. Anyway, lies and more lies and more lies.
Again, he's gone all the way through lies, more lies. All that from the beginning of the video where he said somebody said X. Somebody was like, "Oh, I thought you had ended your channel." That's how he got on this.
Shocking. Atheists telling lies. Where's my pen and paper? I gotta write that down. That's new.
Being false.
All right.
See if I can find another one. There's some on here that are. Am I mad at atheists? Okay.
This idea that theists are angry just cracks me up. We're not angry.
I've met some angry. I don't know where he's getting this from, but I've met some theists that get very angry very quickly. So again, this is one of those things that he's bringing up, but I have never seen. I know lots of non-believers, and I've never seen them really make too many of these kind of generalized claims like theists are angry. Normally it'll be like theists are delusional. Some theists are just out of their fucking minds, whatever. But this one, again, and if you've heard it or if he's seen it from one or two, that comment being agreed upon by, being stated by one, possibly being agreed on by a couple, does not make for all of them, right? That doesn't mean that all atheists or all non-believers think this way about theists in general.
I guess maybe somebody is. I'm not the one who's angry. Atheists repeatedly tell me that they're angry at theists. Why are you angry at theists? Because supposedly our Christianity is taking your rights away. Bogus, stupid. You're forcing us to accept your lifestyles.
No one's forcing anyone to accept a lifestyle. So you think that you guys get to push back and take it away from them? I wonder where he would. That's interesting because he goes, well, you're forcing your lifestyles on us. I don't remember any homosexuals, anybody in the LGBTQ forcing their lifestyle on me. I've never had that happen. Accepting it as what it is fine. I've never once had an LGBTQ person ever force their lifestyle on me in any way. So what does he mean? You mean the fact that it's out there, the fact that there are members of the that fall in line with the LGBTQ? That's your problem. That's them forcing their lifestyle on you, or it's because you got to live around them. How many of them do you actually live around?
You're forcing us to call you by your pronouns. You're forcing
Nobody
us.
forces. Look, the idea of being forced to being said by this is the kind of guy. This is the kind of idiocy that just to him. It's like if he walked up to somebody and somebody introduces themselves and says, "Yeah, my name is James," and then he says, "Yeah, hey, nice to meet you, Jim," and then James goes, I don't prefer to be called Jim. I actually like to be called James." He would be one of those people who go, "Oh, get over yourself, Jim." People do that that's kind of what this whole pronoun game issue is the problem. They don't like it if they see someone or they hear someone and they call them he or she, and then the person comes back and says, "Oh, I prefer to be, I'm a she or he, or I'm a they, them, whatever." That's to him is them forcing the pronoun game onto them. What they prefer to be called or what they prefer to be referred as is them forcing the pronoun onto him. So by that measure right there, I don't like it. You know what? I don't like it when people force their fucking names on me. So if I think someone looks like a Chad, I'm going to call them Chad. And they go, "No, my name's not Chad. My name's Eric." "No, you're Chad. Don't force your fucking name on me." Ridiculous.
Us to accept men with beards wearing dresses and makeup makes them a woman. We're not.
They may not identify as that. You can have a cross-dresser who does not identify as a woman but cross dresses. You idiot.
Mine, we're being forced into that.
No, you're not. You're not being forced into it. It's a part of society. You may have to deal with it. You may have to tolerate it, even if it gives you the ickies, but you are not being forced into anything. Is the guy with the beard in the dress forcing you to have a beard and wear a dress? Oh, wait a minute. No, what you want to do is you want to force the man with the beard to wear a suit and a tie or to wear jeans and a t-shirt. Oh, okay. So it's okay for you to force the standard, the what you find to be acceptable onto them. But if they say, no, I don't find that acceptable to me, I want to be able to wear this. Bullshit. You can't force that onto me. You need to wear jeans and a t-shirt or put on a suit. Be a man. Wear some board shorts, for Christ's sake.
And the Christians are fighting for their rights, for their religion and their beliefs. We're not.
No, they're not. Who is taking religious rights away? They're actually trying to they've actually made it so that churches now can actually they can actually support political candidates. They didn't used to be able to do that. Now they can. So now people trying to running for political office or currently running politicians can have their churches promote them, and those are tax-free agencies. Those are tax-free entities under our tax laws. So who knows how much money now they can raise through churches? That's tax-free.
We're not the ones that are angry. You guys.
You just why wouldn't they be angry? You just said that Christians are fighting. They're fighting for their religion. Their religious rights are being taken away from them. So people are fighting because they're not mad. They're fighting for their rights, but they're not angry about their rights being threatened. Okay, that's interesting.
Are the ones that are angry at us because you say we're taking your rights away.
Well, you do seem to have a problem with people using pronouns, right? You don't want people using improper pronouns, right? So do you want to take that from them? Do you not want same-sex couples to be able to adopt children? Do you want same-sex couples to not have legally recognized marriages when heterosexual couples can? Then you wanting to take things away. All because your religion is like, no, it's not Adam and Steve, it's Adam and Eve.
And I get all these people that come in my channel and say, you're so mad. Why are you so mad at atheists? I'm not. I'm calling out your lies and your games. I'm not angry about it. I'm just calling it out. Big difference. More wordplay.
But now you've gone again. He's gone from the general to now to to himself specifically. But he does do a lot of videos about atheists.
More games from the atheists. Shocking.
What? Show the game.
Who'd have thunk? I'm trying to get to the button that shuts off the video, but my phone was stuck to my hand.
Wash your hands. Yeah, force is a bit extreme language for what he's describing. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm going to open this up a little bit, see if anybody wants to join. Yeah, I'd like to say one right, describe one right being taken away from Christians. I would too. You're right, Benghazi. I would very much. Oh, our right to be able to worship wherever we want. You can, for the most part, except for in like, well, they're taking prayer out of schools. No, well, you can still pray as a Christian when you're in school. It's just the schools aren't supposed to recognize one particular religion over another. They're not saying you can't pray. Yeah, topics of religion is this guy is hilarious. Should get Blaster Master on here sometime and be like, hey, give us the history, give us the lowdown on this guy. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Kenneth Copeland, the demon. This guy is nasty. If people give money to him, they need help.
You back my Richard, you! He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
This is Kenneth Copeland, perhaps the scariest and richest pastor in the world.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Known for his $300 million net worth.
Make that one up. Oh, what's this one? Oh, morality. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What does he have to say about morality?
The concept of morality is obviously something that atheists and theists don't agree on. Morality starts and comes from God, period. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. Without God,
you sure?
there's no righteousness.
So it's divine command.
And without righteousness, there's no evil. There has to be their yin and yang. If there's positive, there's negative. Look at a magnet. There's a positive and a magnet, and a magnet and a negative. Positive, negative. Good, evil. Good starts with God.
It's not strictly. Morality is not strictly fucking binary, dude. It's not a dichotomy. There's three. There's moral, immoral, and amoral. There's some things that just simply are not, there's no real morality involved in them, right? All morality basically deals with is whether or not you ought or ought not do something. That's it.
Righteousness starts with God. Evil is the polar opposite. Morality.
Well, righteousness doesn't start with God. Righteousness only starts in the sense that righteousness being the state in which a person is right in the eyes of God. If you don't have people to be right in the eyes of God, then you don't have any righteousness. Unless you want to say that righteousness is the full-on status of God, which becomes a problem because in order to be righteous is to be without sin. The only problem with that is that if God is all-knowing, God has to not just know everything propositionally, he knows everything experientially, which means he knows what it is to experience sin, which means he has sinned, which means he can't be righteous.
He starts with God, period.
That's a neat trick. Show it.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, well, what about if there is no God? There is a God. Morality starts with God.
Show it.
God, period.
Morality starts with God. I don't understand that particular phrase. Morality starts with God. So morality is a process? What are you talking about? God dictates what is moral? That's the more clear way of saying that. God is that which dictates what is morally right and wrong.
What? No, there is no yeah, but what is? Morality starts with God. It's from
you
God.
Keep saying that. Nobody knows that.
It's of God. Morality.
And I would be very careful of that morality, considering the fact that you do have a moral God, a God who endorses slavery and actually forces a person who rapes a woman to stay married to them. They can never divorce them. The woman has to literally marry her attacker. Let me find that. I think that's in, what's that, Deuteronomy 20? Nope, that's rules of warfare. Maybe it is. Right here. It is, yep, Deuteronomy 22. If a man meets a virgin who is not engaged and seizes her and lies with her, and they are discovered, the man who lay with her shall give 50 shekels of silver to the young woman's father, and she shall become his wife. Because he violated her, he shall not be permitted to divorce her for as long as he lives. And that's only if they're caught. There's that one. There's also the idea of there's God commanding all of the Amalekites to be put to death, all men, women, children, and infants, and all of their livestock. There's going after the Midianites. There's God sending the foul wind to kill the birds, so that the Israelites had some meats to eat, and then they eat it, and then God says, "Joke's on you! Remember what I told you about eating dead things off the ground?" Bunch of people die.
But he is God. Now, of course,
there's also Absalom, the one that the ones that Justin likes to point to, the one about Absalom basically having sex with David's wives in front of him. And that's God's doing. I will take your wives. I'll have one sleep with them in broad daylight.
Of course, the atheists say that God can't be real because of the immorality of the Bible. But that's all based on lies.
That's all based on quote unquote lies. Okay, why did you put lies? Why did you do quotes for lies? The problem with this is that if you have in my opinion, if you have an all-loving God, all good God, and that God is the number one, everything starts with that entity, you really shouldn't have a reality that contains any evil. There shouldn't be the dictates of the polar opposites, this idea of the yin and the yang that he was talking about. All of that is just be dictated by the entity itself. He's acting as though there's states of affairs that even dictate what God is, right? That God can't help there be light and dark.
That's not the truth. The Bible is not immoral. Christianity is not immoral. Those are lies.
Well, I agree. The Bible is not immoral. The Bible can't be immoral. It's a collection of books, but there are some interesting things in there that do seem to be immoral. Yes.
From the atheists, morality is
what the narratives in there seem to be promoting some kind of immorality, what we would consider immoral or something not preferred today. How about that?
From God, and that's it. There's no argument about it. What are you going to put in the comments? Anything that you're going to put, which is there is no God, there is no such thing as morality. The words don't mean anything. You're absolutely wrong. You're deceived.
God's
whatever.
Period.
It's all irrelevant.
God's period.
Morality is from God.
You keep saying that. Saying it doesn't make it so, dude.
That's it. There's nothing to say in the comments. You will, because that's what atheists do. They refute everything. They don't
if
believe
you notice,
it.
there's zero
You're
comments.
going to refute it in the comments. Go ahead.
Probably because he's deleted them all. He'll answer them and then he'll yeet them. That's normally how this guy works. Or maybe it's the case that nobody even commented. He might have comments turned off.
See how far it gets you. It's not going to get you very far. there's nothing to argue about. There's nothing to discuss.
Yeah, there is. If your God is the primary ontology for all other ontologies, if God is, well, here's an even simpler one. If God is that which is the necessary entity for everything, and evil is a part of the category of everything, then God is necessary for evil. You can't have evil without God. You can't have reality without God. But in his mind, what he thinks is that God was going to create things, and then there's just this inevitability of when a God creates a universe that you're going to have bad things. I wonder why he thinks that that's logically entailed. This is the entity that's creating everything from itself, either from its own power, either it exists within it, either God is the foundation, the ground of all being, or whatever. However he is envisioning, or however he visualizes God in his head. Right, like over there at Breakfast Tacos, they were talking with Not Fox, and Not Fox is he's had lots of discussion with Darth Dawkins. He's kind of a preceptor, right? And essentially, what it sounded like what he was saying, I don't know if this really is what he was getting at, but it sounded like this is what he was trying to say is that basically, if you don't have something to say things are what they are, then things won't be what they are. Because he was talking about context, and context bringing about truth, and you got to have truth in order for there to be context, or context to be truth, so therefore mind, and blah 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 blah. Everything was based on this idea of these propositions and how context relates in propositions and statements and all that kind of stuff. And I wasn't there for the entire conversation, and I might go back and I might look at it again, but I'm not going to do that right now. But it did seem, and I joined for a little bit, and I couldn't really get into the conversation with Not Fox because he was very much just trying to hammer home his precept shit. But yeah, essentially it sounded like to me that he was saying that you have to have something say things are so in order for those things to be so. So in order for the animal that we call dog to be what it is, there has to be a mind saying that that's what it is. And when we're discovering, and when we're using words like dog and cat, or dolphin, or fish, which fish goes to a very broad category, but either way, like trout, let's do something more specific, like trout, or a pike, or a walleye, whatever. We are literally using the words that actually comport with that animal. That's one of those questions that I would like to ask a theist. Do you think that the abstract label that is dog is discovered by us to where that the animal, the abstract dog that's being used in relation to all these kind of different dogs is exactly what they are? Could there be any other word other than dog that we could have used, right? And they go, well, I mean, there's canine, there's all sorts of different words. Yeah, but could there have been different words used? Could there have been different labels being used to identify, or the way that we communicate about what these animals are to us? How we basically say, hey, that's a dog, or that's a beagle, that's a pit bull, that's a Rottweiler, that's a Doberman. Could you use it? Well, like Doberman is easy because I think Doberman is just named after the person who developed the breed. Right? It's like a St. Charles Spaniel or something like that.
Morality is from God. That's it. And of course, atheists will argue with anything. They'll argue about anything. I could stand in front of a white truck and you would say it's black.
No, it's a white truck. Because there's a truck there. If there's a truck, you're basically insane. Now that's funny. He's essentially saying that God is as evident as a white van. Show God like you can show the fucking white van. That's the problem. Like, he just thinks that God is because God is. And then he's like, well, these guys will argue about anything. They'll argue. You have them look at a white van, they'll tell you it's black. Are you saying God is as evident as a white van? Well, is God as evident as a white van? Yes or no? Because you haven't shown that morality comes from God. You are of the opinion, you are making the very strong claim that morality, quote unquote, starts with God or comes from God, however you want to put it. God is the source of all moral reasoning and rationality and all whatever. Either way, you haven't shown that. You haven't shown the link between morality and God. You're just saying, well, without God, there would be no morality. Joke's on you. If there was no God, there wouldn't be, according to you, if there was no God, there would be nothing.
Now everybody knows that it's white, including you, but you'll say it just because you want to refute it. That's what atheists do.
That's not to refute it. That would be a rebuttal, and it would be a deranged rebuttal. But again, you're talking about something that is evident to us. We have examples of vans. We have examples of vans being painted in different colors. They can be painted black. They can be painted white. They can be painted red. They can be painted blue. They can be polka dot for all we fucking care. So essentially now you've devolved, your argument has changed to where God is as evident as a fucking white van. So show God being as evident as a white van, or at least as observable as a white van. A white van I don't have to infer. I don't have to go, well, because there's morality, therefore there's God. And that's not what he's doing. He's just being like, well, there's God. That's where morality comes from. Well, okay. Are you saying that because there's morality, therefore this is evidence of God? Yes. Show it. Show the causal link. Show how morality comes from God.
Doesn't change the facts.
That's not a fact. That's an assertion. And again, you basically were saying that God was as factual as a white van, and you never showed it. You're inferring the white van from morality. It didn't work. It failed. It was absolutely incredible. And then he gets that. He did another. Am I mad at atheists? I'm trying to upset you now. Ha ha. The obtuse atheists crack me up. Well, aren't all atheists in your mind obtuse? I'm just acting. Okay, then. Probably not. Probably nobody even said that. A moot point for atheism. Okay, this should be fun.
I am laying down.
Okay.
I'm chilling, watching the tsunami that's coming into Hawaii. Oh, that's huge. Anyway, could be as high as 10 feet, but probably won't. If Christianity was to be proven absolutely true, like Jesus came down and you knew it was Jesus, and you were absolutely convinced 100%.
Jesus came down from where? There was actually another video where he was actually talking about this. I'm surprised nobody's joined. I put the link out. Yeah, is it the proper analogy that the truck exists, not that it's white or not, right? Yeah, or is it a van? It doesn't matter. He was just saying, well, it's a white van, and you would essentially say, well, no, it's not a white van. The van is black. Either way, you're still dealing with the existence of a van or a truck. It doesn't matter. You're just arguing over the color of the van. He hasn't even shown that there's a van. White Kim van with free candy painted on the side. High five sign. Yeah, but this one was funny because he was talking about, there was a video, and I forgot to save it, and it was absolutely ridiculous. He was talking about like, well, like, wouldn't you believe in Jesus if you saw him come down from the sky? I'm like, it could be Superman for all you fucking know. Like you saw him descend from heaven. I'm like, how did you see him descend from heaven? You saw somebody come out of the sky, at least as like what? So you were staring up at the entire time, and you saw finally something. When it finally got in range of your visual perception, it's a man coming down from the sky and then lands in front of you, and then you also automatically go, he must have come from heaven. Yeah. Michael Freeman, what method am I using to know that is actually Jesus coming back? Yeah, it could be Superman. How do you know that came from heaven?
Pure evidence that you couldn't deny. Would you?
That's not pure evidence. The idea of somebody dropping out of the sky is not evidence that they're Jesus Christ or that they're a God in any way. Based on that, if somebody did that, then Superman exists. Could you deny the existence of Superman now? Right? This guy just came out of the sky, just dropped down, arms out, landed, but he wasn't wearing a red and blue. He wasn't wearing red and blue. Oh, I'm sorry.
Become a Christian. Now, I asked this before on another channel, and unanimously, all the atheists said I still wouldn't. Then why bother talking about it?
Because you guys talk about it and you push it. It's not just your own private. It's not just your own private thing. Hey, honey.
But anyway, what's your opinion?
You're at. It's a moot point for. How is that a moot point? Yeah.
Can you let her out? She's gotta go.
Oh, okay. All right. That's enough stupid for today. I'm going to take off. Jesus descended from heaven. Fake news. All right. See you, folks. I'm out.